We're going to go on to our next one. Collectibles or physical items that are sentimental.
Ooh, I like this one. We can put our little papers down.
You did great on that one, Tony, just so you know.
Oh, thank you. Love you guys.
So this is a fun one. I like it. So we're collectors, right? We all collect. You're at the swap meet every week. We're at the swap meet every week. We flip ever since reselling, right? Sometimes it can feel like, oh, is this stuff even important to us? You know, and I know I've talked about before, I love to collect the journey. That's way more important to me than the actual items. But there are those items that you have where you're like, man, this is sentimental. This is emotional. This is valuable to me. I couldn't let it go. I don't want, of course, there's always a price for something, but you know, it's just like those beholded treasures in your life. Ricky, I'm curious what yours are before I go.
Oh, mine, oddly enough, it's right now it's like a, I guess for me it changes, but right now for some weird reason, it's the Hasbro wrestlers. I literally, it brings me back to like me and my neighbor playing. And it hits home so hard because the toys I had were garbage. But when I went over to his house and we watched WWF, I'm like, this is the best thing ever. I'm like Undertaker and Bret the Hitman Hart. I'm like, yes, this is great. So to me, like, I look at those and it takes me back. I'm like, I don't think I can let those go right now.
Those look so derpy. Those little.
They're
things,
so
man.
derpy, but
they're great.
But they're great. Yeah.
What year did they specifically like come out? They like made you feel like.
Dude, it was that first Hasbro
wave?
release, yeah. The first wave. After that, I was just like, all right, cool. Like, I know they made like The Rock and all that stuff, which is cool. I got into The Rock in that era.
You were into The Rock. When I met you, you kept doing the eyebrow thing. I'm like, Ricky, I get it. You can do the eyebrow. Every time I'm like, Ricky, do you want to eat Del Taco or Jack in the Box? He'd be like, Jack in the Box?
Yeah.
What are we
You
doing?
smell it.
Yeah.
Now, Tony, the same question for you goes for you. What would you?
What's very valuable to me, or what am I like holding on to? Like,
Sentimentally or
Sentimentally.
emotionally, an item that you have.
Oh man, I have to say it's my first N64 with my dad, and I have the bag still.
Nice.
N64 bag. It's just something about like just thinking about all the times that me and my dad used to play video games. I always remember us playing the original N64. I mean Mario, and then the Mega Man game. Those are the two games that just stand out to me so much. So. Yeah, that I'm holding on to that.
You still have them.
I still have them. Yeah,
You're not gonna let them go.
It's on display in my house. Yeah.
For me, I've talked about it, I have a few different things in my childhood where it's like those are the items that were just like so important to me, like with my brothers. It's interesting because a lot of the stuff that are super special to me about not selling, I've gotten recently. And it sounds super dumb, but it's my dad's tools. And I was like, this isn't even gaming related. Mm-hmm. But my dad's been like passing me tools, and you know, my dad's getting older, and you know, my dad watches every podcast. So does my mom. So shout out mom and dad. They watch every
biggest
podcast.
supporters.
They really are. They watch. They're texting me. Oh, I saw this. You said this. But it's just So if you know my dad, Ricky knows. He brands his initials.
I know too.
Everything. Yeah. Awesome. Chris and my dad got along better than most people I've ever met got along with anybody.
Dude, he's the most interesting man in the world. He's literally the Dos Equis man that doesn't drink, but it's great.
We're trying to get him on the podcast because he could tell story for hours. But he initials RJS and everything. Always Robert James last name. It's all good. No, it's all good.
Yeah, no worries.
But just having those tools, to me, recently I kind of set up a garage for myself, like an actual garage. And I think it was like the first time I like was in there and I was like working on stuff and I like see the tools and I'm like, man, that's what I saw my dad doing back in the day. You know, I'd be sitting there, I'd go into the garage, he's in there working on stuff, you know, branding his tools, just being a guy. And I'm like, that is special to me. And games, there are things, of course, you know, I think some of the most important ones are like the instructional VHS tapes. Those were kind of like me and my brother's things. We'd watch all the how to beat Mega Man and how to win at Wizards and Warriors. And we would just sit and watch them, which I know, not bragging, I know I've been said to be really good at like platformers and side-scrollers and Nintendo. Maybe it was really because I was watching every tip of how to do it like back in the day, you know, almost like how-tos on YouTube before there was YouTube. Those are probably the most special to me of, you know, within games. But I think all in all, because you said collectibles.
Yeah.
I mean, just my dad's tools. I think that's I could get rid of the VHS tapes if I had to, but I think the tools are just the one thing I want my son to have it. I want his son to have it. I just want it to go down the lineage.
That's pretty
Dude,
cool.
That's pretty good, man.
That was
Yeah.
really good.
Man, mine sucks compared. I was gonna say something about paper, but I guess
Let's
I might.
hear it. Let's hear it.
I mean, mine is the Nintendo World Championship paper that is unsigned, but it also has the quarterfinalist patch on it,
Oh,
which
wow.
that's super rare because it's like you don't ever see without that, and it's also unsigned. So that's one of those things that I can't let go of. I think it's just that and what Ricky's shirt. I have an official one of those and the hat. Those things are like the only three things that I think.
Don't call Ricky out that his is bootleg, bro.
What? I have to,
Oh,
dog.
Come on,
This
dog.
is real. I got it from the same website
Yeah.
Curtis did.
I didn't say it was.
Alibaba.com.
Yeah. Sheen?
Did I say it was bootleg? I just said it was. I just said just like that one.
Oh, wow.
Oh, you called it out.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, you called-
It's a bootleg.
Oh,
Dang, bro.
no.
I turned down Alibaba, man. It hurt.
Oh yeah.
They offered
you know.
good money, man. I turned them
Really?
down. Yeah. I turned them down. I couldn't do it. I could have. The products were so bad.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, I am like, I'm not like a, Switch reviewer or something where I can kind of just say, like, I'm more dealing with people who are like collectors, right? And I'm like, I can't convince these people to buy this.
You're a man of
You know
integrity.
what we didn't turn down?
PriceCharting.com. Yo, that was good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good.
I mean, you
Really
almost did like a perfect setup for me, dude. I was like, let's go.
Yeah, you're the spike. It was the spike. So what did they want us to talk about this
They wanted
time?
us to talk about their features that involve the app, but also like what is on their website, which is the barcode.
Oh,
One of those
barcode
things
scanner.
that could be very essential for us being out in swap meets is being able to scan and know what type of items we're looking for.
Super essential.
And one of the things that I think is great is that they also integrated is the photo. So you take a picture of the item and it'll pop up whatever the collectible you're looking for.
Which is great because when you do stuff like this, you can go back and forth between Google Lens and different sites and different this and that. But like you said, barcode scanner, image search, app, multiple things now. It's making it much more easy to just have everything right there and it's interesting. It's so funny because price charting, when they came to work with us, is such like a giant in this industry, right? Like whenever Caleb does videos, he's always like, yeah, like on price charting, it goes for this. When he buys out lots, he always tells them,
He'll reference
make sure
price
you
charting.
do your price charting on it. So I have everything. It's like, this is the go-to. And now that the app is here, it's like that I think is like the most crucial thing.
Yeah, and the fact that they're always changing the site to be able to like go for the analytics, the sales, and they're adding new features. It's just things that like we use on a daily basis, and it's something that like I think that everybody else can benefit for.
They can.
For like I mean us for sure.
If you're watching this or listening to this, 100% PriceCharting.com makes sense for you. So check it out in the link in the description.
Boom, slam
below.
dunk.
You like that with the
Woo!
dunk, the alley oop, and whoa!
Dude, that was perfect, man. I couldn't believe it. Anyway, dude, I was so excited when you said that.
I saw his face. I was like,
I was like, dude, he's setting me up. He's setting
Or
me
the
up
layup.
perfect. All right, one of those things. All right, so have you ever had a moment of guilt of holding on to something you had plans of letting go?
Not necessarily.
Well, you have no emotions. Ricky.
Yes, it's true.
say it again. Say it again.
All right, so is there something that you had guilt for that you held on to, but you had plans of letting it go? Like, you know what I mean? Like selling it or giving it to somebody, but you wanted to keep it.
Oh,
Ricky every day of his life.
Yeah, dude. Honestly, that is me too much.
Ricky's
like,
YouTube should start a YouTube channel called Intention of Selling.
Dude, he's like Dave Chappelle when he's doing that. He's like, "Ah."
it really is because like
The crack guy.
all the stuff I get, I just most of the stuff I get, I really love. Like if I buy it, I'm like, oh, I really love this. Like
Yeah, but the bad news is we get excited about everything.
we do get excited about everything.
Yeah, we do.
We get too excited about things. Like like recently, I'll have shirts that like I didn't really like want to like sell, but I'm like, oh, I should not. So right now it's like everything for me. It's like shirts. Like I think Virtual Boy.
Yeah.
I'm glad it went to a friend, but I was like in my head, I'm like, I should. Like, dude, why? Like, it's smart. Like I should just sell it. I literally doubled my money. I should have.
I think
I
out
don't
of
know.
everybody, you deal with the most peer pressure of selling items you don't want to let go because, not a sponsor, we do Whatnot every Thursday. And at the end of every show, we do a pull something from your room personal to sell. That's like our thing. When it was at my house for like 2 years, I did the same thing. Like whatever, at the end of the night, I pull something I don't really want to sell. So Ricky now is in this place, and I could see it in his eyes, man. Behind it, but that just shows he loves the people, though.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
because you're like, I don't really know if I want to sell this, but it's like, for the people.
Yeah, you can definitely put it in a tough position when it's like it's something that you had for a while, and it's like you've had it on display, and then you're like, everybody's just like, you gotta get it. We want this. We want this.
Ricky.
Yeah, Ricky.
Dude, you did hit it on the nail. That's actually more. That's more like peer pressure for me than anything. And I'm like, after I saw it, I'm like,
So yeah, you probably didn't even see these, or even you on our old channel, Retro Liberty. That was our thing, like chanting Ricky. I know you guys heard us do it now, but that's like what we did. Like anytime we wanted someone to buy something, because back then we didn't have as much money, so we're like, somebody needs to buy something. So Ricky would, anything we see, Ricky, everything you start chanting,
Just chant it.
and finally Ricky would buy it and be like, why the crap did I buy this?
some stuff I was just like, dude, I can't believe I bought this thing.
Yeah.
Oh, what
Tony,
was it? Oh, go ahead.
You didn't even, you found our channel like not even long ago. If I recall, I met you at the swap meet and you saw me from Retro Rick or so. How did it work?
Yeah, it's a funny story. So I walked up to both of you guys. I think I was watching Retro Rick first.
Yeah.
I stumbled
You
on
were.
him first. And then I saw you guys on Retro Rick's video. And I asked you guys, I was like, hey, like I saw you guys on Retro Rick. And then you guys were like, we actually have our own channel.
Come on, man.
I feel like that's always the case sometimes. Like,
Yeah.
come up. But now I think more frequently people are like, we've watched your channel. We've been watching it for years.
I had someone,
Yeah.
I've had people say, I found you through Hustle at Home Mom. I've seen you through Retro Rick. I've seen you through Phoenix Resale. Like a lot of people don't know. A lot of people, a vast majority of people know me as Editor Riff, and I have no idea what our main channel, Pixel Game Squad, is. So
And also your older,
Yeah.
older channels too.
that's the G's,
Yeah.
bro. When people
Those are
come
the
up to
Gs.
me and they're like, what's up, Aaron? I'm like,
Yeah. Who are you?
they know.
You guys should reboot that like those like videos and stuff.
Dude, I love
Oh.
the channel name Retro Liberty.
It was so good.
That was my favorite channel name. For sure. Right now we did it. It was more like a business thing as a different channel name, and then the whole thing. There was supposed to be more to it, but ended up people love it. Obviously, we can change it now. Poor Gabo has a tattoo of it.
Retro Liberty?
No, Pixel. Games.
Pixel
Oh, okay.
Although there is a guy out there, you might even know this. There is a man out there with a NES Pursuit this big tramp stamp
I love it.
Good
tattoo.
man.
Straight up.
Shout out
Yeah.
to that guy.
Yo, I have a good habit of this. Do you keep things from the swap, like just like one item of like a lot or something that, you know, you think that you, well, I'm just going to rewind that. I'm saying, do you keep something from the swap, right, as a reminder to like come back to those memories? There we go. Jeez Louise.
Yeah, there's things that I see where I'll like leave them specifically around to like. I mean, that's really what like decorating and building a game room is, right? Like,
Yeah.
Someone that is doing the video watch of this,
Yeah.
saw this Vectrex. Somebody, I don't know who it is. Sorry, audio listeners, there's a Vectrex behind us. Somebody watching this was like, oh, my childhood, right? It did something for them, and it's the same thing in our room. You'll
Yeah.
keep things strictly because most of the time, let's be honest, a lot of people have no intention of playing, but it's those visual reminders of like,
Yeah.
man, it keeps you young.
Yeah, I definitely have a bad habit because like I'll keep like sketches like here and there like at work, and then I'll also keep like the small little pins that I never thought I'd pick. I'm like, dude, why do I have all this stuff?
Yeah.
And then it's like I'm like, oh wait, that was from that crazy find that I had.
Well, it's hard when you're collecting small items because I feel like that's when it sucks, right? Even though it's part of it, we love it. We love paper. I mean, for goodness sakes, we'll collect badges this big, but you almost can't do anything with them. Mm-hmm. You're like, I got this sweet thing, and then Ricky's like, hold on, let me look for it. It falls behind the dresser, and he's like, oh, that's gone for eternity. Ricky has a special spot behind his desk where every time something falls, I'm like, it's gone forever.
There's
And
like
you
so
hear
much
it,
goods
you hear
back
it,
over
huh?
there.
We don't even know what's back there.
Will Sampson.
Dude, legit, I don't know.
It's always during whatnot too, because we start scrambling for things.
Nice.
It's like,
Dude, he definitely has one of those like rooms where it's like if something falls, it's gone forever.
oh yeah.
But what do you have like collect out of all of us? Like, I mean, we've said what we collect. What do you collect, Tony?
I've been collecting a lot of T-shirts recently, and then also
Say
like
it with
a
your
lot
chest.
T-shirts, and then a lot of paperwork. I think like the paperwork and the rarity
got
of
him
that
into
type
that,
of stuff
dude.
is just
I
like,
got him
oh
into it. I
man,
know
it's
it.
so good. Because like if you think about like the life cycle of like a lot of the flea market stuff, right?
Yeah.
A lot of these vendors, they dump it out. If they can't sell it that day, they take it to the dump. And it's gone forever,
Yep.
right?
True.
And so a lot of this stuff is like super rare to come by, and that's what I really like seeing.
Is that what did I say? Somebody like the paper gang or what?
Wow. The paper pixel squad. I was saying the other day, I was telling Tony before, I recently found it's just so cool because this is like the stuff that doesn't exist. And I think that's what's so cool. Last weekend, I found this from an LA locker, of course, again. It was the guy who was like in charge of all the events for bands. And it was like all his handwritten notes with this card of him saying, hey, I just got put in charge of all of Queen's displays all across California. So it's a folder of his handwritten letters and his card and him displaying pictures, actual photos are in there of him displaying a Queen launch party display for Sam
So
Goody,
cool.
then at the warehouse, then Tower Records. This is the stuff you cannot replace it. It does not, will not ever exist again.
Exactly.
And that it almost blows my mind when certain things like that, you know, I'll even admit on Whatnot, sometimes that stuff will go and I'm like, man, like it's crazy to think little Samson would go for more when there's thousands of those out there.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? It blows my mind sometimes thinking that, which again, I'm thankful for the people who, pretty much Ryan Kinney.
Hey, I mean, but also those Nickelodeon press kits and the Sig Haig stuff. I was like,
Haig, yep.
dude,
Yeah.
those are some crazy.
For those who missed it, man, any Sid Haig fans out there, House of a Thousand Corpses, Devil's Rejects.
Dude, that's some good.
I had all of his grails.
I saw that. I
I
saw
had all of
that.
his grails.
Dude, did you know Tony found Elvis photos? Like
Oh, he
last-
told me before.
Oh yeah, we
Dude.
found a bunch.
Did
of
I know?
photos.
Uh-huh.
Dude,
Yeah.
that is insane, dude.
So actually, I was telling Riff before you guys came. Austin and I are actually working on proxying a deal with some collector. I think we have altogether about 400 photos, and he wants to pay about $5 a piece.
What's that equal? I'm so dumb.
So about 2,000.
You should know your. Whoa, I said you should know you're smart. Okay?
There it is. There
How
it
much
is.
is that?
About $2,000.
What'd you pay?
We paid $20 an album.
Add a couple zeros, baby.
Yeah.
Let's go. Let's go.
Yo, I love ending on wins like that.